Home is the place you pay for that keeps you out of the cold. But what happens when your home is almost as cold as the great northern outdoors? For one woman, this is the case. On TV's Megan Pounder has the story.
Home is supposed to be warm and cozy, but for one local woman, that's not the case. Cheryl Miller moved into her unit at Timothy Place in August, unaware of the issues that were soon to come.
I moved in August 1st, and that was a nightmare. I was supposed to take Unit 35, and Unit 35 was already taken, so she got me to go take a look at another one just up. I think it was 84, 74 or something like that, beer. And I went in there and I could smell dog urine, and I said no, I wasn't going to take it because that's all I could smell. I mean, I don't live where there's dog urine and everything, so I don't want to live there. So anyway, I told her no. Then she said, okay, we'll give you 15, and then 15 was just being redone. And so the only one left was 13. So I said, well, I have to take it because I was trying to get, I had to be out of my place by a certain time, so.
Since then, she's dealt with issues such as missing boxes, a broken door resulting in the use of a butcher knife to keep it locked, leaks around her doors and windows that are costing her hundreds a month in PUC bills to try and keep her unit heated, which never gets warmer than 20 degrees, and most recently, the flooding in her basement and bedroom.
Miller has taken this issue to the city, who has passed it along to their legal department. As it is still actively being enforced, the city could not comment at this time. Red Brick Rentals, based out of Hamilton, owns this complex here in the Soo. Senior asset manager Brenda House told On TV that each issue has been dealt with diligently and according to the Residential Tenancy Act, but Miller herself begs to differ.
I kept complaining about the cold in emails and whatnot, and I was just getting sick and tired of not hearing anything back. So I had messaged her and told her about the cold, and then she said something. She sent an email. First of all, she told me on the phone that they were going to give a $250 rebate from January to March. Well, I didn't get January's. And I'm not sure if I'm going to get February's or March, because they were supposed to take it off the rent, but mine's paid direct.
After sending multiple emails to House and feeling like nothing has been fixed, Miller has decided to take her case to the Landlord-Tenant Tribunal and the media, hoping that by making it public, some sort of action will be taken. Megan Pounder, On TV, Sault Ste. Marie.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is denying that his office told former Attorney General Jody Wilson-Raybould to help SNC-Lavalin avoid a criminal prosecution. Trudeau spoke about the legal matters involving SNC-Lavalin and Huawei at a news conference in Vaughan, Ontario.
The allegations in the Globe story this morning are false. Neither the current nor the previous Attorney General was ever directed by me or by anyone in my office to take a decision in this matter.
With regards to the Huawei matter, your line has always been that politicians cannot interfere with an independent judicial process. Do you think the Chinese will believe you now in light of what we've heard about the SNC-Lavalin case and the Norman case before that?
We have been consistent that Canada is a country of the rule of law that respects the independence of the judiciary and always will. That is something that we stand up for on the international stage. It's also something we ensure on the domestic stage.
Vice President Mike Pence told law enforcement officials that the United States will build that wall at the southern border. Pence's remarks follows President Donald Trump's State of Union address and echoed the president's call to work to stop drugs from entering the country at the southern border. Pence said, "We will not rest or relent until we have the technology, the personnel, and the barriers required to secure our southern border. We will build that wall one way or another."
President Trump has made the fight against illegal drugs a top priority of this administration. You heard his commitment to that mission just 2 days ago. In a State of the Union address, as the President told the nation that we are committed to put drug dealers out of business and truly make America safe. Nowhere is the crisis of illegal drug trafficking more evident or our challenge more profound than at our nation's southern border. And you know firsthand how serious this crisis is, because the southwest border high-intensity drug trafficking area is among the most active in this entire program. Last year, Customs and Border Protection seized more than 827,000 pounds of illegal drugs entering our country at our southern border. And that's just the drugs that they found. Just last week, Director Carroll unveiled our administration's National Drug Control Strategy. He described it aptly as a strategy of action, and so it is. That strategy lays out our comprehensive plan to combat illegal drug use and drug smuggling, and the high-intensity drug trafficking area program is essential to our efforts.
Serial killer Bruce McArthur is set to be sentenced today. The 67-year-old self-employed landscaper pleaded guilty last week to murdering 8 men with ties to Toronto's gay village. The Crown is seeking a life sentence with no chance at parole for 50 years. The defense has asked that sentences for all 8 first-degree murder counts be served concurrently, which would make McArthur eligible for parole come 25 years. First-degree murder carries an automatic life sentence with no chance of parole for 25 years, but when there are several convictions, the court can impose consecutive periods of parole ineligibility. Get ready to say good riddance to the checkout line. A year after Amazon opened its first cashier-less store, startups and retailers are racing to get similar technology in other stores throughout the world, letting shoppers buy groceries without waiting in line. If they work as envisioned, cashier-less stores will not only save consumers time, but maybe even money. Thanks to cameras and sensors, the stores will know when a shopper picks up a product and puts it down and can send them a discount to tempt them to buy it. Merchants will get a lot out of cashier-less stores too, including more insights into how people shop, creating more space for merchandise, better tracking of when shelves need replenishing, and more business from the hordes of customers who detest long lines.
They're not just cashless, they're cashierless. You go in, you scan your app, you go through the turnstiles, you grab whatever you want, and you walk out. It's almost like legal shoplifting. And the aha moment doesn't come when you come in and out of the store. It's when you're in another store, a pharmacy, a small food retailer, and you get what you want, and then you wait in line to check out. And it's like, why am I doing this?
The whole strategy between us and Amazon are different. Amazon has a technology, and they're building stores around it, and they're launching those stores around the country. For us, we see the world as millions of retailers are already there. Let's just help them install a technology like this. So we're building technology for stores, not stores for technology. The next question is, when will everyone be using this technology? And I think in 5 years from now, everyone will have shopped at an autonomous checkout store. I think within 10 years from now, it will be very common. And in fact, maybe a little bit weird to go to a store that doesn't have autonomous checkout.
Reduction in losses due to theft is a huge benefit of this technology. The reason is everybody who enters the store checks in at the entrance. So their account is already with the system, and anything they grab off of the shelf has to be accounted for. So it's practically impossible to steal from a store like this. So at Zippin, privacy is very important to us. So when we designed the solution, we made sure that the cameras are actually placed overhead, pretty high up in the ceiling, looking straight down. So they're almost like GPS cameras that are looking at cars on a map. They really don't see people's faces, which means that we don't and can't use face recognition for any of our technology.
There are about a dozen of these now in the US. We think they're going to take that number and blow it out. We think we're going to see hundreds and eventually thousands of these stores.